Episode 4. I don't think this is that version.
It's not, but still. Welcome back to another episode of Blerd Up Reacts, where we watch and react to the latest and greatest in TV, movie, and gaming. We're your host. I am Monique.
I'm Killer Cam.
And today we are finally here, you guys. We are reacting to the finale episode, episode 10 of Them.
Like, Cough, can you believe that this has been 10 years of our, not 10 years, 10 weeks
I
of
was
our
like,
life.
Jesus.
10 weeks of our life with this show.
Yes, 10 weeks. And I am so ready because there's so many things that have happened with this show. I need to know how the Emery family is going to get this get back.
Yeah.
I need to see if Betty going to get what's coming to her.
Yeah.
I need to see, I need all the good feels at this point.
I need all of them to get what's coming to them. Every person in this show that's done some fuck shit, I need them all to get theirs.
Mm-hmm.
I am a Capricorn. I don't do well with this type of stuff where people don't get retribution. I'm still punishing people from like first grade who did shit to me. Like,
let it
not
go,
really.
brother. Let it go.
Like, not really. But
Yeah,
I say that to
Capricorns.
say I don't do well with injustice.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
know?
And I actually feel like you will be okay in this next episode. We've heard a little bit of feedback here and there, and not telling us exactly what's going to happen, but just telling us like, this is what you've been waiting for. So like, enjoy. But to talk a little bit about the last episode, because the last episode was just really kind of episode that was like, okay, you've seen all this stuff that has happened. Let me tell you what's going on. Let me fill you in as to why all this stuff is happening.
Like, has started. Let me show you.
Yeah. So I'm kind of interested to see if any of that is going to come into play in this last episode.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I am thankful that they gave us that last episode though, because I was like, really, like, what is going on? Like, it has to be that land. And I was right. It was the land. It was the land that they're on. So
yeah. But yeah, like this stuff that's happening, I just can't with it. I need this episode, I need this ending to be satisfying. That's the best thing that I can say at this point, because we've taken a lot of shit here. And I need it. It reminds me of a movie, and I'll talk about it later. But anyway, long story short, I just need retribution. That's what I need. Okay. That's what I need. So we can wrap this series up and like really, once the story is at a close, be able to look at the full picture and determine whether or not this was something that was necessary, that it was good, or is it the quote unquote trauma porn, which, guys, I hate that terminology because it doesn't go together. Whatever. The two words don't go together.
They don't. And when you said that, it made me think about stuff. Thank you.
Like, even the thought of what you think it is from the dictionary, it doesn't go together. So it's already one of those things like nails on a chalkboard to me when I hear trauma porn. I'm like, yeah, that's not it. That's not what you can call it. That's not it. But Anyway, don't get Furious Styles started on this bullshit, because he will keep going. He will keep going.
We really gonna give Lois Fishburne a DNA test one day, because
but why is that like so random shit? Y'all don't know. Y'all probably know. I get the Lawrence Fishburne thing daily, much more when I was skinnier too. But like, it's a thing. And like in my little friend circle in Chicago, the nickname was Furious Styles, because once I get to preaching, the little balls are there.
Right. I also feel like you can be him off of Higher Learning too. Like,
yeah. Would you like a peppermint? Neither here, neither there. Again, we're excited to jump into episode 10. What's the title of this one? Is it the day 10?
Yes, day 10.
Day 10. Yeah. Yeah. I don't
Let's
know. I'm just
go.
speechless.
Yeah.
Let's jump into it. Before we do, thank you to everyone who has been liking and subscribing to our channel, because the likes, the views, specifically for this series, you guys have elevated it. You've gotten us out to a new audience. And again, we probably would not have reacted to this series on this channel if you guys hadn't said that you wanted to see it. So shout out to like the Tracy Lees, the Kamara Harringtons, the Brandy Swains, all of you guys just rocking with us through this series and commenting like in the comments. I know for us, for me, and I know for you probably as well, it does make it an easier watch when you've got kind of a community of like-minded individuals you can kind of like talk about this stuff with. So saying that to say thank you for your support. If you're new, just stopping by this channel and you want to stay up to date, make sure you hit the subscribe button because it's free and you get all this wonderful content when you do it. It's like the best shit ever. So like, just do it.
And if you want to find out if Lawrence Fishburne really is Killer Cam's dad, stay tuned. We'll have that coming up in a few.
Don't say that. I love my real daddy.
Okay, yeah, your real daddy.
I don't like. And
I'm
I'm
sorry.
telling mom.
I'm sorry.
So,
Let's go.
You guys are ready? Let's do this.
All right, I'm ready. Let's go. Ooh, Betty? She gonna be okay?
Who cares? He might have been friend like, bitch, I need to go cauterize this neck wound.
Probably.
Trying to act hard. Look, his outfit.
What's she gonna do? What's she gonna do?
I do kind of want a man like that. But then I think about all the animals that are going to be invading my yard.
Run, girl. You free.
Yeah, your dumbass was sitting down there all the time.
I know. This has to be that same night she stabbed him, though, because that's the same dress. Unless she slept.
Unless she's dreaming. She might be dreaming. Hold them heels off. She dreaming.
I feel like a trap is going to spring at any point now. And it's going to be like...
No!
Was that a gunshot?
Yeah, you rifled her. Kill you dead before I let you leave me.
Dang, did he kill her? Is that lucky?
Yeah.
Like, you better hurry up and get out of this, girl.
Time to get you prepped. It may not seem like it now, but there is great freedom in this gift you're receiving.
You have to think about, too, like, this is away from the house, so these people are not under the influence of the house. They're just doing this stuff.
Girl, fuck him up. Go full Linda Hamilton on his ass. Got him.
Kick him between the legs.
Right.
Oh, there you go.
Make a vase like on Karate Kid 3.
That's to block.
That's how you get somebody from choking you. Young ladies, if no one ever taught you. Come on, Ruby. Yes!
Drop it.
Get him. Right in the head. Oh, honey, he wouldn't have got away. Come on, Henry. Get his ass.
I'm like, is he just playing with him? Because he was in there, like the military, so he know how to shoot, right?
Who's your buck now?
Oh, here go Clark.
You get away from him! Artie! Baby!
Mom, I'm okay, baby.
I'm gonna call the police!
Girl.
Do it.
This is not.
Does it look like he care about the police right now?
You dirty.
Thank
Now
you.
that was the wrong thing to say.
Let me show you what that looks like.
Oh, here you go.
There you go. Oh.
Don't feel what it's like to lose a child.
Daddy? Daddy?
I absolutely love that Ruby has not put that axe down yet. Good girl.
Right. Like my child might have just saved your child right now.
Stay right here.
Don't leave me!
I'm going to get Daddy.
But what is Miss Vera?
Miss Vera's not real, Gracie.
But I saw her!
Miss Vera is real.
Right.
Now stay here and close your eyes and don't open them till I get back, promise?
Promise.
I don't know why Ruby's still thinking like this stuff isn't happening.
Right. This is giving me like reverse of women of
Uh-oh.
uh-oh.
So taking them back through their to their individual entities that they've been seeing.
Mm.
Oh, snap. No, we don't need you.
Girl.
Oh,
Movie theater.
yeah. Because that's where he was the day that all that stuff happened
Mm.
with Lucky and Chester.
We
Oof.
just loved us a picture show, don't we, Mr. Henry?
Is that the movie you took the girls to see?
Tell me where they are.
Look with your own two eyes.
And no at all.
Lucky said, I'm out this piece.
Right.
Deuces.
Thank you. Oh, thank
Oh
you,
my
Jesus.
gosh. Is that the doctor?
Yeah. I was just about to say, do you know how hard it would have been for me to walk past her and not do
I
anything to her?
know. I thought she was just going without helping the other black woman that was in the
Antaha.
oh, she could do it herself. What was the point of those restraints?
Yeah.
Hey, brother.
What you gonna do, Byron? You gonna stop me? You gonna stop me?
He like, they don't pay me enough. Go ahead,
Right.
sister.
Don't never seem to be in the right place at the right time. Mr. Henry, I think you really gonna like this picture.
No.
I'm like, if they show us this again, I'm not watching
Right.
this.
Thought we were friends.
Fuck off, back to hell, devil.
I know. Know who you want to be, who you don't.
Never be like Mama. We'll never be like Mama. Stop.
You already are. Just
Like her.
I don't know why, like, when these spirits are talking to them, they don't just be like, your voice don't sound right, you don't look right, why am I gonna listen to you?
Right.
The fuck were you two doing in the Emery's basement, Marty?
Teaching that family of apes that this place is ours.
Protecting what our fathers built and you. Treating what we earned as a gift instead of a birthright. You know who said that?
Excuse
Your wife.
Look where the fuck she at.
me.
Look,
No.
I wouldn't waste a bullet on a fucking traitor.
Clark, I know that would have been the last time he ever.
Did you hear what he called him?
No.
The F word. Oh God.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I told you I don't do broken bones.
Now say it again. That would have been the first and only time he pointed a gun at me, which is why I'm a little bit mad at Henry. He didn't cap him. Hey, look.
Clark said, I'm getting the F out of here.
This is our home.
You can smack all of them at the same time.
Right.
In the beginning.
I can yell too.
Right.
In the beginning. God created.
What in the?
Oh shit.
Unto a firmament.
Did he do that to keep them out so he can go ahead and finish up what he need to do?
Mm-hmm.
Reverend Epps?
That and the stoke fear, maybe.
Girls?
Miss Vera? No, ma'am. Miss Vera?
Mama?
Come here, baby.
Not today, bitch.
That's what our mom said to those kindergarten teachers when they tried to hold us back. Not today.
Hey, Gracie, what you got?
You'll never be like Mama.
Yeah, that's right, Gracie. Does she have like books for college? Ooh, whoa, whoa.
Perfect.
Are you really back,
Okay.
Mama?
I'm back, baby.
Don't believe in what they say. It takes the power away.
Mm-hmm.
Clean the laundry
Clean the child.
before the picture was over. Now I'm going to
Clean you too.
So, does she just believe that, like, her mom killed Chester? Like, did they not tell her the truth or something?
I don't know.
Yep, now grab one of them shards and stab that demon. What's going on?
Ruby Lee. My Ruby.
Don't you do it.
What happened that day is not something you ever need to know about.
Yeah, they didn't tell her.
I would never, ever hurt you, Ruby Lee. Why are you my Ruby? Because I sparkle. That's right. I'm so sorry, Mama. Nothing, you hear me? Nothing.
Gracie like, oh man, bring it in, you guys. I don't know what's going on.
Now go get y'all daddy.
Right.
What's his name? Chester.
You gonna want to pay attention here, Mr. Henry.
Don't watch it, Henry.
Sit down! Why they do you like that, Mr. Henry? When they gonna stop taking from you, Mr. Henry?
They won't.
Couldn't protect your missus or your boy child that day. Go out there with your bare hands and show them what they came here to see. A piece of the field.
Nope, nope, nope. You can't go out there, they're gonna kill you. Oh, thank God. Somebody. Thank you, Lucky.
I should have been there.
We couldn't have known.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to make it all right.
So he was just trying to make everything perfect after, you know.
I know it. We all know it. We got this, Henry.
We got this.
I was about to say it's daylight already, but no, I think that's the fire
Yes,
burning
fire.
outside.
What you gonna do?
Can she see him now?
I think so.
What you
Yeah.
gonna do?
Ugh.
I'm not sure if you missed this, Tap Dance Man, but we good. We don't need you anymore. Right. Dang, his face. It's busted up. Oh. So that's eventually gonna go away, right? Like, because they can't find a body up in there.
Right.
What happened to us? What if they come back? They are never coming back, okay?
Y'all better leave that house.
We're not running from anyone anymore. It's not over, Henry.
She's like, I gotta go deal with this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right back.
So Reverend Epps pulling out all the stops at this point because he knows if he doesn't get somebody, it's over for him.
Your trespass upset the order of things.
Who gave you the right?
The Lord himself.
Not in any book I've read.
Swine, beast, you failed him. On that day, I too know this pain. And the hole it leaves.
No, Lucky, don't fall for this. That is not Chester. Come on, Lux, snap out of it.
I'm right here.
Mm-mm. Gotcha.
My boy is gone.
Oh, you scared?
All this time you spent trying to blind me. Us. Well, I'm right here, motherfucker. And I see you.
You have failed, Reverend Epps. Now we get the day 10. Look at Gracie. Yeah, so at this point, they like, come on. We done already been through it. Y'all ain't gonna be nothing. What'd you think?
Interesting. I have questions now.
Yeah, I have questions as well. Because I was thinking there at the end because Lucky called it out, like in terms of their similarities, you know, Reverend Epps and Lucky losing a child. Was that the reason why she was able to resist him? I don't know.
I don't know. From what I took of it was the acknowledgement of everything that has happened up to this point and calling it for what it is, which I think I kind of talked about in the last episode. Like, don't tell me 4 + 2 = 10. Call something for what it is. If it's stupid, it's stupid. If it's racist, it's racist. If it's a hoe, it's a hoe. Like, stop trying to rationalize things and behavior when all that does is it hurts you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think I can.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think I can get what you're saying.
I think had they faced and not rationalized so much, which I get, rationalization is a survival technique. Sometimes you have to rationalize things because it doesn't make sense. Like, from what they've gone through, imagine trying to cope with that on a day-to-day basis. Rationalization is probably the thing that's allowing you to get up and pretend like everything's normal. But we know, even on some level, when we're rationalizing this type of trauma or things that have happened to us or things that we go through day to day that builds up, it doesn't mean us any good. Because again, and I think I've said this before, I feel like every person on this planet is always a bad day away from making a bad decision.
Yeah.
One bad decision away from ending up in jail, one bad decision away from ending up dead, whatever the case may be. And unless we stop rationalizing things and normalizing it too, we're just going to continue to hurt ourselves or get caught up in the bullshit.
Yeah.
I know that was a lot, but as I was watching this, I was trying to piece together what we've seen before and then what these past 2 episodes is showing us. So
do you think Henry was so caught up in trying to make sure he protected his family, make sure his family is good, that he kind of didn't deal with, like, how how people get caught
Mhm.
up in those scenarios where something bad happens to a person that they love, and they
Yeah.
do everything and anything that they can to make sure that person is okay, but the thing that happened affects them as well, but they just
Mhm.
spend so much time making sure that that person is okay that they don't take care of themselves. They don't take time for themselves to kind of recuperate and
Yeah.
just kind of just you know what is the word I'm looking for? Deal with the things that have happened.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's the yeah, but complex. This
Mhm.
happened, but look, I have this wonderful job, we're moving. This is
Mhm.
going to create a better life. It doesn't change where you came from
Yeah.
and how you got to this point. And until you deal with the totality of all of that, whether it's you're guilty because you weren't there, you're guilty because you didn't do something to retaliate, whatever it is, you're feeling this loss that
Mhm.
just doesn't go away with shiny bright new things.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I feel like if, and I'm not saying that this whole situation was Henry's fault, but I
Mhm.
feel like if he would have taken that same time that, and it didn't have to be in the same way as Lucky, of course, but if he would have taken that
Right.
time just to deal with what happened to Chester, maybe he
Mhm.
kind of wouldn't have rushed into the whole moving to Compton into an all white neighborhood, signing a contract that has no African Americans can move in,
Right.
yada yada yada.
Well, I think whether they move there or wherever else, what was supernatural shit aside, the pain was still going to be there. And that's
Yeah.
why I got so upset, because he made her move on. She
Mhm.
wasn't ready, and as a result of that, she comes to this new place. Now he finds out she's got Chester's bones in a box, which again, I've been seeing some weird commentary on this, like that's just disgusting, and why would she do that?
Trauma.
Trauma.
Trauma, trauma, trauma.
And I
Yeah.
think both you and I said, I was like, I can't knock her for it. I don't think
Yeah.
I would. I think I would have done the same thing.
I'm
I'm not
pretty
leaving my baby.
I'm pretty sure I said that in an earlier episode when they actually were driving to Compton and leaving South Carolina. I was like, I don't think I would be so
Mhm.
ready, or I could leave there knowing that that my child was still buried there and it was still so
Yeah.
fresh. I would need a little bit more time, to not be able to go and see, at least be at my child's grave every day until I was over it. I
Right.
don't even think you ever get over something like that. But yeah,
So, I mean, I think the story with the family is pretty clear. I think that's pretty clear cut and dry.
hmm
Um, Now we get to the neighborhood. And again, this goes back to something else I've been saying. Y'all have been fucking with these people for 10 weeks of my life now.
hmm
And now they got you.
hmm
And now you sitting there looking like, oh, I didn't do anything. And this is our land and whatever. And like, what?
Yeah, like it was very interesting to see how tough that guy was not
Hmm.
when he didn't have somebody helping him there. Even
Yeah.
against Ruby, because Ruby was like, I wish you would.
Right.
He basically
And what did he
cowered.
do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
cowered and ran. So it was very interesting to see how these people can have so much gusto in terms of I'm right, you're wrong, this is what, and his demeanor changed as soon as he got into a house
Mhm.
full of other people. He was like rah again,
Yeah, he
but
tried that shit with Clark, and Clark
oh
was
my
like,
god, you guys, I am so sorry. And when I edit this when I edit this, I will try to bring that volume down a little bit so it will not, break your ears. But I have told y'all before, I do not do good with broken bones. It could be
Mhm.
animated broken bones, live action broken bones. I do not do a good job with that. And I am so sorry for
Mhm.
yelling in everybody's ear when that happened. So
Yeah,
if that does make the cut, I will try to bring the volume down so I do
it's gonna
not
make the
burst your eardrums. But
cut.
I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. But yeah.
But you saw how the facade of toughness and everything just went out the window because he tried this shit with Clark, and Clark
Mm-hmm.
was like, Let me show you what a real
Yeah, I can't believe
fuck
he
your
did that.
femur.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
he did it multiple times. He just didn't do the one in the snap.
don't tell
He did it
me.
few times, like them, because he had a gun pointed in his face
He
outside
did.
of the other shit, and then running his mouth. Like when that was happening, I was like, Clark, that would have been the first and the last time that motherfucker ever
Mm,
pointed a gun at me in his life. And sure enough, he snapped, and I was like, thank you, thank
yeah.
you,
Not
thank
saying
you.
that he did not deserve it.
I
He
know, no,
definitely
I know.
deserved it. It's just me. I can't handle that kind of stuff. I can't handle it. My
Yeah.
leg hurts still right now because oh, bah, bah.
But it did confirm what I thought earlier, where I
Yeah.
was like, Clark got him a little boyfriend
Got a little
somewhere,
boyfriend. And so
living his.
that's definitely the reason why he was like leading people alone. Like
Yeah,
he's a part of that group where people, feel like they don't.
marginalized and
Yeah, yeah,
get fucked with on a regular for something they have no. You just hate me for being me.
yeah,
You know. Now let me preface this. I know some people that's gonna be mad that I say this. It's not the same thing. Granted, it's an extension of it, but it's not the same thing. But it just allowed him to be a little bit more, it allowed him to look at the situation through a different lens.
yeah.
But at the end of the day, also, I'm not going to absolve him of his culpability because he played a part in this.
I actually agree with that. Um, because he did speak up. He was like, leave them people alone. Like, why do we have to be doing all of this? But he still did those things. He was still a
Yeah,
part of the group. He still went with the flow. And I think that's partly because he was afraid of being out of it himself. He was like,
right.
well, I got to keep on doing this so they think that I'm the same person as they are. But, he really wasn't. But I
And
still don't think that is absolves him from, from
yeah,
the things he has done to this family. He's helped to do to this family.
and that's a whole conversation in itself. One I'll say for another day. But again, it kind of comes back to leave people alone.
Yeah. Mind your business, man.
You're
That's
not any better than anyone else. You're not any worse than anyone else. Everybody's got their cross to to
to
to
bear.
to bear. But how dare you ever sit and think that you are more important than anyone else in this world, and you
Yeah.
deserve a different level of respect
Yeah.
than anyone else in this world. That's what got y'all fucked up. That's oftentimes what gets y'all fucked up.
Yeah.
Because after all of this, I still think that the way this ended, you still got off light.
Mm.
I think in myself in that position, if I'm Henry, there was some people that wouldn't have made it out of that situation
Mm.
as well as they did.
Yeah.
I can't say that for certain. I can't say. I think he gave a lot of people leeway.
I don't know. Because I just don't. I kind of feel like I know with what was waiting for them outside. I was on the standpoint of like, don't do nothing crazy because they gonna shoot you as soon as you walk out. And I wanted
Mhm.
to see this family win so bad. And I
Yeah.
was just like, don't do anything crazy because they gonna arrest you. They gonna shoot you as soon as you walk out. Like they gonna beat you. Like just don't do anything too crazy because I just was like,
Yeah.
y'all, I want to see y'all get this win. And in the end, I'm not even. I mean, it really wasn't even a win. It was a small win, I guess,
And
but
and
because they
that's what
beat Reverend
I'm
Epps, but
yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. Like, because when you put it into the big picture, is there really a such thing as winning and losing?
not really not in this
There's a
situation.
trade-off that happens throughout life. Some of it's up, some of it's down. It's how you make it through.
Hmm.
I guess I say this. This is what I'm gonna take from this whole series, which is something that's always been kind of important because it's been told to me on 4 separate occasions of my 41 years on this planet. You have the right to defend yourself
Hmm.
in
Yeah.
any situation, and whatever that looks like, just make sure that it's appropriate for the situation.
Yeah.
I've got that from our grandmother. I've got that from my grandfather. I've got that from our dad. And I've got that from somebody that I consider to be kind of like an older brother in my life, to where sometimes like, ooh, did I go too hard? Did I overreact? And they're like, no, you know,
I was happy.
no. You,
I was happy to hear other names there because you started off with grandma and grandpa, and I was like, "Ooh, they used to carry around knives and stuff in their purses
well, it
and
was
guns."
different, and
I was
it's
like,
funny
how?
because it's the ones you probably did not accept. You know, grandpa,
Yeah,
mom's dad, he was one of them, but dad's mom, Grandma Lucy,
yeah.
she told me that too, and then dad told me one time it didn't. So it's kind of one of those things where you guys see when I watch stuff like this, and I'm like, I have Gracie's look on my face because I'm like, you're gonna get it. Look, messing with me, like you're gonna get it
Yeah.
because again, I'm a Capricorn. That injustice shit, I don't like it.
Oh man. I'm sorry, I don't mean to switch subjects too fast, but I kind of want
No.
to get in here when we talk about Ruby. So, finally figuring out why Ruby carries this resentment, I guess, or anger for her mother, and it's because and I'm guessing they didn't do this for Gracie as well, because if they didn't do it for Ruby, they wouldn't have done it for Gracie, but
Yeah.
they didn't tell Ruby what happened on that day. I'm guessing they just said, you know what, something happened, Chester died. So she took from that her mother did something to kill Chester, and so that's why she's been carrying around this whole time like, I don't want to be like her, don't be like her, Gracie, like we don't ever want to be like her. That's why she's been carrying this hatred around for her mother. But what Ruby doesn't understand is by them not telling her what happened on that day, they were trying to protect her, and that they,
Right.
Lucky would never ever hurt her children. She's done the most to protect her children, basically. So
Yeah. But then there's this other part of me is kind of like, based on what they did tell you, like that's where you went with it.
right, right. Like I
Like you
don't.
went hard on your mom. Like that was some, for it to manifest in a way, and it did with Ruby. It's kind of like, well, damn.
And maybe it was something like where she saw how her mom was acting
Mhm.
afterwards and was like, well, maybe did this happen like right before she killed Chester or something like that? Maybe she didn't understand that grief and that pain that Lucky was going through was because
Mhm.
of what happened and not because she just kind of snapped one day and it.
Well, here's the other side of that, because I thought this through as we were watching this series as well, and as we got to this part, I just kind of wondered the way Ruby behaved or thought of her mother, because we saw what her demon manifested as.
Mhm.
Um, was this also a side effect of being told basically on a daily basis, because the color of your skin, that you're an animal,
Yeah. Yeah.
and her jumping to that conclusion with her mother, then also kind of wanting to, not kind of wanting to be white, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, and
which
that would make sense.
and you and I have talked about it. This is why it's very important what you allow your children to absorb.
Mhm.
And notice I phrased that very differently. What you allow them to watch, is a different thing. It's the conversation that accompanies it. I think our parents did a really good job of letting us be exposed to things and having the conversation behind it so we understand it.
Yeah, I mean, you can have that same conversation today when it comes to women's beauty standards.
Exactly.
Growing up as a child, I'm looking at these magazines, I'm seeing on TV that the perfect woman is this, tall, skinny, I don't think I've, thought into the terms as like a Caucasian woman was better than a black woman.
Hmm.
But, growing up, it was tall, skinny, fit, like that's the like body image of a woman that I should be, and I just was not. I'm 5'2.5" right now, and I'm thankful for that half because and as a child I wasn't. I was a little bit chubbier, than I am right now, and I'm not. I went through those periods where I was like, I'm not the ideal woman type. Like,
Mhm.
I need to start doing better. I need to start, skinnying up and, try to grow taller, which I don't know how I thought that was going to happen. But, that's what your kids see every day, TV, movie. Like, you only have certain brands coming out today where they're making it more acceptable for like a regular woman body type to be
Mhm.
acceptable. Thank you, Rihanna. And for men too. She does that for men.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I can definitely see where you're going, if Ruby could have been told and seen all of her life that,
Mhm.
black is bad, white is good, and that could be why she wanted to be, that white color.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, when you apply it to race, that's another reason why I feel like it's so important that I don't care at what level your finances or where you live at, your children need to be in a diverse environment. However, they need to be able to see themselves in people in the community.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, like if I had a kid and I'm like, okay, it's time for you to go to school. If I saw that that school had only one other black kid in it, that my kid would not be going there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or if they had only one black teacher, or if I didn't see no Hispanic people up in there, I'd be like, no, no. We got to get you to public school, Poppy.
And it
Like,
really, yeah, and it really shouldn't be that way though, because everybody should be receiving the same kind of education
yeah,
as everybody else in the school. However, we know today that that's another thing that does not happen. There are certain schools in certain areas where it's predominantly African American or brown
hmm,
kids, and they don't receive the same type of education that a
yeah,
predominantly white school receives.
yeah.
So,
Whether it's this, which should be the simple things, just seeing yourself reflected in your community,
mm-hmm,
or your future, like getting the same opportunity or the same discussion of what do you want to be when you grow up.
mm-hmm,
Like even as a 41-year-old, hearing some of my friends talk and they're like, well, I would have went to school to be an engineer, but I didn't know that was a possibility. You know
mm-hmm,
what I mean? And I'm
mm-hmm.
like, girl, it's the same loan.
Right. Right.
Like, it's the same
You pick
loan,
what you
which
pick, but you paying the same money. So,
right. So,
but
you know,
also
I
too, that could be because they didn't go to a school that offered that type of program because they
exactly,
weren't able to get into that school that offered that engineering program. So,
exactly.
yeah. And that's not because of their grades or anything on them. It's
Yeah,
because color of their skin. Um,
yeah.
so
But
yeah.
I mean,
Anyways.
at the end of the day, it just kind of is what it is. Um, I don't know what the fuck happened to Betty. She just died. Like,
I know. I was like, I thought we were gonna go back to her at some point in the episode, and we never did. So I guess she just did, man. I
I
kind of
don't
feel like
care.
George set a trap for her and was like, you know what? It's not worth it. Let me leave this door unlocked, and as soon as
Mhm.
she runs, I'm a shooter,
Yeah,
kill her, get
he
rid of
was
her.
waiting for her.
Yeah.
And she was waiting down on. How long was
She
she
was
sitting there?
with the
I was
door
like,
unlocked. Mm-hmm.
you walk past that door every day. Could you at least try to knock? Like, did you at least try to knock?
I felt like I deserve more on that. I feel like I don't
I
know.
know.
Like
She made her bed, lie in it. That's what you got. You wanted them, you got them.
she was running hard too. She thought she had made it.
Hmm.
Um, huh.
I So I was pulling up the cast list because there's people in this cast that I really enjoyed seeing. First of all, with the Emery family, Ashley, Thomas, excuse me, Deborah Irende, Melody Hurd, and Shahadi Wright Joseph. Excellent
Excellent.
performances.
Yep. Um, and I don't know if you've seen it, and I'm probably going to do this at some point in the next couple of days. They've got some bonus episodes on Amazon. Well, it's not episodes, but it's just like bonus kind of content on
Hmm.
Amazon Prime where it goes into the building of certain characters. And there's one in there called Understanding the Tap Dance Man with
Yeah.
Ashley Thomas. And I'm definitely going to watch that. Um,
And yeah, because you knew where I was going. I needed to
yeah,
see who that actor was, and one of our subs called it out. The tap dance man was Jeremiah Burkett,
yeah.
and I was trying to see if I'd like seen him in other stuff, and I did remember him from an episode of, I believe it was Lucifer,
Okay.
and it looks like he was in Euphoria and Bosch. So he's been in some things, but I was just kind of
Hmm.
interested because I'm like, he looked familiar. I just didn't know what
Yeah.
else he had been in. Christopher Heyerdahl, who played Reverend Epps or whatever, he's been in a ton of stuff. And I didn't realize it was him until the
Me,
last episode.
yeah, me either. The episode 9, yeah,
Yeah. Um, Allison Pill did a great job in this.
she
Like, and
did.
again, I have to reiterate, you guys, when I'm hating on the character, if I don't fucking like the character, that doesn't mean I don't fuck with the actor or the actress
Right.
behind it. I actually really like Allison Pill.
She did her
I was
job.
actually surprised she did a show like this, actually. So more cred to her. Um, and of course, Ryan Quanten playing everyone's favorite
Yeah.
neighborhood psychopath. Like, we always
Jason
love him.
Stackhouse.
Jason Stackhouse, we love you. You. um, Cast wise, I think it was a really good cast.
Yeah, I agree.
It was a really good cast, really well executed. A lot of the episodes I felt were directed really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I keep shouting out T.I. West. I think he did an outstanding job on his episodes as well.
Yep.
This is really weird content to take on,
Yeah.
and you have to be very careful how you take it on. And I think that everyone who was involved, whether they needed psychological counseling after or not, did a really good job.
Yeah.
The execution of this.
Yeah, I agree. So do we want to give this series a blurred up rating on the Blerdometer?
We are going to give this a rating, and this is one of those ones where I think, sis, I think this rating really, really does count. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think this is going to be one of those ones, out of all the times we've done this, like, this one holds a little bit more weight and responsibility to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So normally I say, do you want to kick it off? But I know, again, it is what it is. Do you want me to kick it off? You cut out for a sec.
Sorry. Yes, please go ahead.
Kick it off. I'm actually going to give this a good solid 9.
Okay.
I'm going to give it a 9 because, again, everything that I've discussed, the subject matter, the supernatural element of it, if I'm categorized, this really isn't a supernatural show, because the things that are most effective have nothing to do with the supernatural aspect of the show. The writing, I feel like, was done very good, very responsibly. The acting, phenomenal. It gets points off for rewatchability. I'm not rewatching this.
Right.
Which is usually a big thing for me. I'm not going to rewatch this. I might revisit an episode only because I feel like I want to go back and check something out. The only time I would probably rewatch this is if we really get in our bag and I'm like, I'm going to dissect this from start to finish and I'm going to write a paper or something on it. That's the only reason I would rewatch it. I don't need to rewatch it again, but that's not to say that it's not good. I feel like it was done really well. I think that it has a place. It has a place on the spectrum, whether it's your cup of tea or not. That's a different story, but I'm not labeling this basura. I'm not labeling it trauma porn, because I just don't feel like it's that. I feel like it's a story. It's a collection of stories that are rooted in this space of truth that are being retold to pass. How do I want to say it? Pass some knowledge, spark some conversations. but do it in a way to where you're totally invested. Does that
Mm-hmm.
make sense? That
Yeah.
seemed disjointed the way I was explaining it, but
No, that makes sense. I'm gonna give this an 8. I enjoyed the writing. I enjoyed the characters. I again, I'm with you in terms of rewatchability. I'm probably not gonna watch this again, um, unless it's just to go back to watch some of the things I missed, just like
mhm,
you. But I don't know. I just don't feel like I feel like a 8 is more appropriate for me.
mhm,
Um, there was, I'll admit, some of the stuff in these show and the episodes were hard to watch.
mhm.
And for somebody like me, I will still watch this kind of content, and I'm so glad that we spaced this out like we did, because if
Oh
it was
yeah,
something like back to back to back to back, I would not be able to do it. And that's kind of why I'm giving it a little extra point off, because it does make you want to jump into the next. Some of the episodes do make you want to jump into the next episode, but there's some really really hard, more than enough really really hard
mhm,
episodes in there where you just have to be like, yo, I need a break.
yeah,
I'm not even sure if I'm gonna be recovered by next week. So
yeah.
I'm gonna give it a solid 8.
The solid 8. Um, that's a very good point. I think that's one thing that this show probably did teach me is I don't have to binge watch everything. Sometimes it's okay for me to watch something and let it marinate a little bit before I jump into the next episode. I completely admit I was not excited to watch this show up until about episode 8.
8.
And then that's when I was like, okay, let's get it moving. Number one, I need to know what happens. I need this retribution. I need to see what's going to happen. I need to see that, and then I don't want to go on another couple of weeks
Yeah.
thinking about some of these scenes in this story, because it's just not a. I get it. I know. I get it. I
Mhm.
don't want to
Mhm.
live in that space though. I'm
Yeah.
aware of it and I know it happens, but I don't want to take too much time living in that space.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so you know what? I'll drop down to 8 for you,
No, you don't have to
just to
drop it
be
for me.
no, not for you, but just to make it consistent to everyone who's watching. Like I don't have a problem with an 8, 8.5. It could go up to a 9. That's the
Okay.
range that I'm in for this. I think with the criticism this show got when it first dropped, um, I don't think it was accurate or necessary.
Yeah.
I think it fell victim to the I watched part of it or I watched 30 seconds of it and I'm labeling this and this is what it is.
Well, I recognize that there are a lot of hard things in these episodes, and it's not everybody's cup of tea. So yeah, if there was a negative review given off of not watching all the episodes, or because it was not your cup of tea, I don't agree with that. But I can totally see how somebody could take these episodes in the wrong way if they don't watch everything that's in them, or pay attention to
Yeah.
everything that's in them, or watch all the episodes. But I definitely agree with you. I don't believe this is like it deserved any
It's
kind of
not
negative
garbage.
rating.
It's
Yeah,
yeah,
it's just really hard to watch.
hard to watch. Just like again, the previous argument, Precious. That's a hard watch. Is it a shitty movie? Absolutely not. If you guys want to know a garbage movie, Google the movie Rubber and watch it.
That is a cult classic. You might get yourself in trouble there.
Rubber?
Yeah, about a killer tire.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna get yourself in trouble, so I'm not gonna co-sign
Well,
on that.
if that's what it is, it's what it is. I watched an hour and a half of a murderous tire, and why that would be a classic and something else not be. Like it just is what it is. Like this season, this show has taught me call it for what it is. I call that is my like really.
Be sure to direct your comments at Killer Cam
Hey, if you
for
got that life,
Rubber.
I'm about it too. Do it. Do
All
it.
right. Anyways, let's
No, but
wrap this
seriously,
up.
let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. Thank you for you guys for pushing us to watch this show and for rewatching it with us because again, we're saying we're not going to watch it again, but many of you have with us. So we appreciate that. We truly, honestly do. Um, Reactions, we have Loki that just started. We're wrapping up Superman and Lois. We are picking up more movie reactions. What do you feel, sis? Does that leave space for one more? I know American Horror Stories is dropping in July.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Um, It might leave space for one more. I know we're trying to get into more of our gaming as well, so I don't want to take away from that. But if we do have an opening for you guys, we will drop a poll into YouTube and let you guys pick what you want us to watch. So,
Absolutely. All right. Until next time, we are your hosts. I'm Killicam.
And I'm Monique.
We'll see you on the next episode of Blerd Up Reacts.
Thanks, guys.